Hi, my name is Tamara and welcome to my kitchen, my face, my art desk. If you hear any weird noises, it's either the fridge or my stomach or my dog, probably my stomach. Welcome. What are we doing? Did I say I'm from South Africa? That's very important. I'm from South Africa and I'm an artist. Did I say I'm an artist? I don't know. My name is Tamara. I'm an artist. I'm from South Africa. I live in Warsaw, Poland. I do art. This is an art journal flip through. I completed this art journal a few years ago and I don't fully remember everything. I don't fully remember what was going through my head, but I also do remember some things like they were yesterday and I can talk about those things. I just wanted to put that in a video, tell you what's what. It's not the most insightful video in the world, but as I told my husband the other day, there's so many weird noises in the kitchen. As I told my husband the other day, I would rather watch like a really dumb video for myself than watch like the best version of AI slop that's available. I am not anti-AI as such, but I am really tired of seeing like really weird, like regurgitated, dumb, clickbaity, soul-destroying, fucking no, like there's no point. So, you know, if there's gonna be things that are pointless on the internet, I want it to be like my stuff that's not pointless and stuff from other humans. That's the whole vibe. Watch the video, don't watch the video. I'm gonna say something at the end. It's the same thing I said in the last video. Like, I mean, come on. Don't be surprised. I'm gonna be telling you that I'm teaching on Wanderlust. So boom. Let's just go into the video. Shush. Shush. Hello and welcome to this journal flip through. This is a journal I completed in 2023 and I just never really had the chance to go through it, or the will, whichever one it is. This is a journal I got from Amanda Millar and I will put her channel in the description. It was made with catalog papers and I only have one video with this. I thought I would do a whole series like completing an art journal. I never did. I did one video which I will link here that you can watch. I can't even remember if I showed what the pages were like, but I went through every single page and covered it in some watercolor and I let that dictate how the journal was going to go. But also the journal had this kind of like pink, I want to say red. So red, white and black kind of vibe. And then obviously this is brown. Let's ignore that. So I let that dictate the journal, and this is the inside cover and Amanda's details are also here. And I just did a little abstract. I did this after the book was completed and I made this for this painting and the one in the back. And it's a little viewfinder, if you can call it that. And I have played with this so much on this spread. I remember when I did it, I think I spent a whole day like just looking at various compositions and I love it. If you do abstract work, maybe this is something you might find useful. Make a viewfinder and find the different pictures in the composition, which could be singular compositions. I mean, you don't have to do it, but it's just fun. I really like that. And I love the richness of these reds. I can't even remember anymore what made these reds. I wish I did, but I don't. This is oil pastel, watercolor, and I don't know what that is. Some painting medium. Okay. Oh, and some stickers from Iris, which I think also just helped to tie in all of this. This is the first page, which I do have that video showing how I did it. I think it's a time lapse, I'm not sure. I remember struggling a little bit and then I decided like it felt too cutesy and that's not what I wanted. And then I thought, oh, caterpillar coming from the mouth, you know, nobody wants that. But I love the texture, the X's, the roughness, the X and O's that's everywhere. And then underneath I can see the word, I think, liar. But it might not have been what I wrote. So yeah, that's what this is. As mentioned, I followed the black and white theme throughout. This is a drawing or a painting rather of mine that I turned into a sticker but it's the kind of sticker paper that you can kind of paint over. It's like paper. So what I did is I turned the image around and I used this as another kind of face, and I love it. I think I love almost every page in this journal, if not every page. Different rules for different people. This is what it says, because that's something that really bothers me in life. Self-portrait. Another black and white. Everything's black and white, but I love this. Everything was very quick. I think I completed this entire journal after I did the first page in a day, maybe. So everything was just flowing and coming out very quickly, and it was very raw and rough. And it's very dark. I think something that maybe people don't know or don't realize if they're just new and if they've never seen anything before is like, my art is it used to be at least quite dark and creepy, and I think that is who I am. I still do art like this, but it's not something I teach in lessons. So yeah, this reminds me of the UK flag, that's currently being used in protests. It always gets political with me. I love this page. It says here, like, there were no witnesses. And yeah, I can still remember doing this page. I still remember the time what I was going through when I made this. And it's something I still struggle with. But I think this was the first time that all those feelings were coming through. And it was very raw, and it was very therapeutic to do it this way. This is oil pastel again. So wherever I have oil pastel, I've just inlaid it with this so that it doesn't stick together as much. I felt like this page had skin. It looked like skin to me, and I felt it was the perfect place to put more of these eyes. I love it. Again. You might as well love your own work. Teeth. Because sometimes speaking to certain people is like pulling teeth. I remember that. I remember thinking that when I made this. This entire book is just about like repression and being witnessed, or holding truths or not speaking truths, and just kind of I think just not being seen, not being heard, not being believed. Yeah, it's raw. I love this. This is a theme I really want to pick up in my art, which is I draw a lot of apartments because this is the landscape that I stay in. And it shows quite often, but I never really explored it properly. And I think that's something I would like to do at some point. And this was really just about isolation, in terms of how I was feeling and what I was feeling. And I think that paired quite well with how isolated I sometimes feel in this particular landscape. And this is the final page. And I tried some of these, I don't know, this was like in everyone's art a few years ago. I really liked it, but I haven't had a chance to explore it myself. And I love coupling it with this as well, because maybe not that, but there's some really nice compositions that I hear. I kind of like this one. Yeah, it's just about playing with it. So after I did this, there was the back page, which is by far my favorite one, because it was around this time that we were moving out and we were going to get married, and my husband really is a grounding presence for me. He's my found family, or my family, whatever you want to call it. He doesn't have hair like Bozo the Clown, but I thought that would be cool to keep it that way. And I think this was a picture on here of two fashion models, and this is what I turned it into, and it's one of my favorite paintings. Yeah, I love skeletons. I loved this. I loved the message, and it felt like a very healing close. to this entire book, which I called Red, White and Black Volume 1. There hasn't been another volume, but that was the idea. So I hope you enjoyed this flip through. If you don't know Amanda, go and give her a squiz, which means a look, a squeeze and a look. Don't squeeze Amanda. Just go and check out what she does. She's brilliant. She's quirky. She's original. She's intelligent. She's empathetic. She's kind. She's probably, if she watches this, is going to think I'm a weirdo. But yeah, I feel like as much as this is my art and the things that I did, people like Iris, Amanda, and just also permission to like feel my feelings and tell my story just to myself, not even to other people. Just the starting point of telling it to myself is what made this book possible, which is bound in like the most interesting way. I don't even know what you call this binding, but it's one of the nicest bound books I have. I've got another one from another friend that's also bound very well, but I've never seen binding like this. I don't know what it's called. Ask Amanda. Okay, thank you. And if you stick around to the end, I'm going to give you an announcement, which is no different from the announcement you heard the last time. Okay, what's the announcement? The last time I did this announcement, I think I did like a piss poor job at it because I had like a tiny image of my lesson. And this time I want to put something up that's a bit bigger. So I'll move so you can see like the dish nonsense behind me, but also so I can put my painting here. It is a really cool painting. I think it's very cute. It has a lot of techniques in it and a lot of like mix and match. So you can definitely go your own way in the lesson. But more importantly, it's really about mapping your artistic process, like your traps or what gives you energy to go, or your compass, or whatever the metaphors are that are available on a map. I'm proud of what I did. I also have a cool lesson on color, and I would really like to see you there. I always feel like I'm doing such a terrible job at like saying what I did or showing what I did or putting it out there. So I'm trying a little bit more this time. But besides me, if you're not convinced by me, you're like, oh, you're not selling it to me. Get out of here. You disgust me. Well, there are other artists on Wanderlust who are not disgusting. They're very cool. I actually saw somebody that I kind of like, I don't know, fangirl after, and I was so shocked when I saw on the lineup. And yeah, it makes me feel simultaneously like I'm amazing, and also like maybe I tricked some people. I did some trickery or TDI. And I got onto their lesson. But whatever it is, at this moment, what am I feeling? I'm feeling good about myself, okay? I feel cool. So I want you to consider it, have a look, check it out. The link's in the description. I'm also teaching on another course that's coming out a little bit later this year. But this one is specifically about Wanderlust. So go and click, join, see me, see those amazing teachers. I don't know, fall in love. Just because I'm married doesn't mean you can't fall in love with me. No, that is not an invite. I cancel that word. I cancel that pronouncement. This is supposed to be an announcement for Wanderlust. Okay, that's it. Come to Wanderlust. If you don't come, I can't do anything. So yeah. Okay, thank you. Bye.